All right, hey there. This is a time of year I know a lot of people have been traveling, will be traveling. So I want to give you some tips for traveling when you've got a kid who's maybe doesn't handle changes in routine as easily as other kids. Maybe they're a little bit more sensitive um, to the input around them. So two things to be aware of. The first one is whenever possible, create predictability so you can help your kid manage the unknowns of the situation. So let me give you an example. If you know you're going to be going to the airport, give your kid as much information before you go to the airport as possible. What is it going to look like? How are you going to get there? How are you going to transition from the car to where do you go next? And how are you going to move through that space? What are the expectations? You can make this all playful. You can, play your let's talk about the airport, going to the airport game. And you could do this for several weeks before you start traveling, just so you're starting to build a script in your child's head of what to expect while you're traveling. You're going to also you're going to pair that with working on what do you do when you feel uncomfortable? We all know traveling has a lot of discomforts. And nobody really gets super excited about it. So even though you might be really excited about where you're going. So while you're talking about predictability with the maybe physical movement throughout space, you're also going to talk about predictability with you might feel a little uncomfortable. You might notice that it's really hot in the airport, or where we're going is going to be really hot. How do you like to take care of yourself when you're hot? What are the things that you need? How can we make sure that we have those in place? So you're getting your kids support and kind of getting them on board with they know how to manage discomfort. You know they're going to be okay. You know it's going to be okay if they're uncomfortable. So then when they start to get uncomfortable and letting you know that their system needs a little extra support, you'd be like, oh, wait, are you uncomfortable? I think we talked about this. Weren't we going to make sure that we brought a water bottle with us and we drink water anytime we start to feel extra hot? And hopefully that'll be a way for your kid to kind of move through that discomfort in a way where they'll be able to stay present with what's going on and not completely need a lot of extra support. The second thing I want you to be aware of is you've got to take care of yourself. I know, surprise, surprise, but it's a really important piece of supporting your kid. So as long as you can keep yourself aware when your discomfort is getting higher, what are your strategies for bringing yourself back? And I'm not talking about forcing your way through it using willpower, but really learning to be gentle with yourself. Doing some coaching with yourself, saying, I know this is, I'm nervous about going to the airport with my kiddo because I don't know what their behavior is going to be like. I don't know what their needs are going to be. And I know that I can always slow down and take a deep breath if I need to. I know I'm going to carry a water bottle with me so that as soon as I can, I'm going to fill it up. I'm going to make sure that I'm drinking water throughout. That's pro tip. Water is a great way to keep your brain and your body moving in a state of comfort. Maybe when we get to the airport, I know that I'm going to need to move because I'm going to have so much energy from that kind of the stress of getting everybody here and safely that I'm going to need to make sure that I take a walk before we sit down. So think about what are those things. So just like you're going to be coaching your child for what they can anticipate happening and problem solving ways to respond when things get uncomfortable, start to do that for yourself too. Okay, well, I hope you're going on some fabulous vacations, even if it's just a day trip or a trip to the park. All of these things apply. And I can't wait to hear about what fantastic things you do. Be well.